So let me ask you something. What's more powerful, the money in your pocket or the vision in your heart? We're about to find out by diving into the incredible story of a young boy named Kabir, who, well, he started with nothing but a dream. So this was the world Kabir lived in. You've got this stark contrast, right? On one side, you have the harsh reality of empty pockets, literally, patched up clothes. But on the other side, a whole universe of opportunity that, honestly, only he could see. This was the real struggle that defined his entire early life. All right, so let's really set the scene and understand the world Kabir grew up in. His story kicks off in a place that was basically defined by everything he didn't have. But, and this is the key, his journey, that was fueled by something he had on the inside. I mean, this was his day-to-day reality. Just try to picture it. Walking around with holes in your shoes, your school bag is torn, and you've got that constant nagging feeling of hunger. For Kabir, this wasn't rock bottom. This was the starting line. And as if all those physical struggles weren't enough, he had to deal with this, the constant negativity, people telling him things like this. It was like a chorus of voices trying to shrink his world, trying to convince him that his dreams were just ridiculous. A huge, huge obstacle to overcome. But then something happened, a real turning point. A wise teacher, they called him Guruji, comes into the picture, and he gives Kabir these two really powerful ideas that would literally change his life forever. He called them the mirror and the fire. This is where the story really starts to shift. Okay, so the first lesson was all about this concept of an inner fire. Guruji basically told him that every single one of us has this burning belief and power deep inside. The problem? Well, for a lot of us, it gets buried under all the pain, the self-doubt, and all that negativity from other people. And this is the question that just changes everything. See, Guruji doesn't pretend Kabir's pain isn't real. Instead, he asks him to look through it, to see the potential that's not just there despite the struggle, but is actually hidden right behind it. I mean, what a powerful way to reframe your reality. All right, so that was the fire. The second lesson was about a mirror. And this mirror, it represents your true self, your real potential. But, and there's always a but, right? Guruji warned him that other people with all their doubts and their negativity are always trying to cover that mirror with dust. So what's the solution then? It's not enough to just know you have that fire inside you. You've got to use it to protect your belief in yourself. And Guruji's advice here was just brilliant. He said, your daily actions, the things you do every single day, that's the cloth you have to use to wipe your mirror clean. Now, a great philosophy is one thing, but it's pretty useless without a plan, right? So let's get into the nitty-gritty of how Kabir took these powerful ideas and actually turned them into relentless everyday action. And his motivation, man, it was deeply personal. This wasn't just about him wanting to be successful. No, this was about his sick mother. It was about his aging father still working so hard in the fields. He wasn't just trying to build a future for himself, he was trying to rewrite the story for his entire family. Now that is some powerful fuel for your inner fire. Yeah, and let's be clear, this was no fairy tale, this was a grind. We're talking learning from any book he could get his hands on, working multiple jobs, a tea shop, a mechanic, just to gain skills. And the sacrifices were huge. Sleep, comfort, sometimes even food. Every single night while everyone else was asleep, he was up under a dim light, cleaning his mirror with pure action and focus. And of course, this wasn't some overnight success story. It was a slow, step-by-step climb. He started with a tiny mobile repair business just on a village corner. Then he managed to open a small electronics shop. Then that grew to 3 shops. And now he's launched his own brand of mobile accessories. It's just the perfect example of how small, consistent actions can snowball into something massive. Okay, so let's get to the payoff. We've seen the struggle, we've seen the hard work. So now let's look at the incredible impact Kabir had, not just on his own life, but on everyone and everything around him. I mean, the transformation was just staggering. Think about it. The same villagers who used to laugh at him, now they were lining up, hoping to work for him. His mother, who was so sick, was now getting regular medical treatment. And his father? He didn't have to toil in the fields anymore. He could finally rest. This is what it looks like when you rewrite your story. So, years later, Guruji came to visit the now successful Kabir, and what he said just brings the whole story full circle. It perfectly sums up the entire journey. It was never really about the money, that was just a result, a byproduct. The real measure of success was the power and the clarity of that vision he held in his heart from the very beginning. And this, right here, is why Kabir's story matters so much to all of us. It's living proof of a simple idea. Your current situation does not have to be your final destination. The power to start a brand new chapter, that's always, always available to you. And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. Now that you've seen what's possible when just one person decides to clean their mirror and protect their inner fire, I'll leave you with this one thought. What story will you rewrite?